Hey everybody, just letting you know if you'd like to support the show, please check out shopsketchcraft.com where sometimes I have stuff and sometimes I don't. And if you got no money and you can't buy anything at shopsketchcraft.com, just please give me a thumbs up, leave a like below, let me know what you think, if you've got questions, things you'd like to see. It all helps. It all helps. All right, on with the show. Hello everybody, welcome back to Game Cave Development, Game Cave Dev Blog. This is where I'm going to talk about Game Cave. Why am I going a lot? Because I feel like I hit the wrong button. And now I don't have my little Game Cave Dev. See, this is what happens when I don't do this every week, folks. This is what happens. Now, if I click this other button, it's probably going to start another theme song, so I'm just going to have to let that one go. But let's give it a shot. Whoa, hey! What's up, everybody? Alright, so let me just go ahead and turn the phase cam off and turn the Cintiq on. Oh, nope, that doesn't work. Never mind. Alright, we'll go back. Doing it live, folks. How you been? How you been? It's been one of them weeks. One of them weeks. That's why I like to let this theme song just run for like 9 hours. It just keeps going. Yep. It's very epic around here. It's epic. I, on the other hand, made myself a nice sugar-free orange soda with Bacardi and lime, and it's Labor Day. Tomorrow, not really right now, but so there you go. Now, why don't we go over here really quickly and set some mood? And pretend for 1 second like I've been doing this fucking thing for 4 years. Why don't we just... Oh, there we go. That looks good. That looks good. Alright. Joining me tonight is Jessica Jamartsy James. Jessica, how are you?
Hello.
And that was an amazing intro, don't you think?
Yes.
I thought so. I thought I did well. Don't worry. I'll yell at me like I yell at Brandon. Soon enough. So, just be in the shower going, what the hell are you doing? You know, my wife's like, what's going on? Like, I'm just critiquing the show. So we're here to talk about Game Cave. Why don't I go ahead and bring up... So, here's the order, folks. I'm going to show what Jamartsy here, Jessica's been working on with 3D. And then I'm going to get into the progress on the magazine, the graphic novel, whatever. And that's the order of it. So, we'll start because her time is precious. And mine, not so much. So let's go to the Cintiq. All right, so I am streaming right now from my computer to your computer, correct?
Yes.
All right, so what are we looking at here?
All right. So you should see Fort Jack's Briar Bay.
Yeah, look at that.
Right. All right. So we have a lot more buildings out. It's starting to develop a city. Yay.
It feels very city-like now, doesn't it?
Yes. It's getting
Wow.
filled in.
So pretty. Can we zoom in? Oh, there you go. There you go. Zoom in. Ooh. You got to create some cameras for just like street people. So put some of those dummies around and then put a camera in their head so we can just look at different areas really quickly when we're doing these, you know?
Okay.
That'd be fun.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So first, what you did was you took the buildings up here in the front. Let me just see if I can quickly do this. Nope. Nope. It won't let me. Oh, I can't pan. So I can only zoom. Yeah, see, when I pan it. Let's see if it... No! This is funny, right? It's supposed to like... The pan button is... You gotta move around. I can't do it.
Okay.
So zoom out a little bit. And if you look at the buildings here, so one of the things you did, if you go to the right, let's just show the city layout. So
This
you
part.
initially presented a version of this to me last week where these buildings were kind of like all over the place. And I think
Right.
that's because you manually like laid the buildings out, right? Like you just kind of placed them down. And so if we go more
Uh,
to a little bit more of a topographical view, what you did is you went and made like a guide probably, right? So these buildings are all like lined up or no?
hmm
Yeah,
Yeah.
is that what you did? And that really came out nicely. Ooh. There we go. Now it's doing it. Sometimes it just doesn't catch up. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. Look at this, folks. Look, it's very cinematic. Like, ooh, right? He's running on the rooftops. Right? So this is pretty awesome. Looking pretty good. And then you took all the doors off the back
Yes, on
sides
the
of these,
back side.
right?
Yep.
So these buildings, there's what, maybe 8 of them, right?
I think we're at 12.
You're at 12 buildings, and these are all instancing.
hmm
These on this map right now, we probably have what, 100, like 50 buildings, 100 buildings.
Yeah, I've lost count.
Yeah, so somewhere around 100 plus buildings, but they're being instanced off 12 different versions. And it look,
Right.
folks, look how fucking awesome that looks. You know, you're the real talent. You went to AI, right?
Yes.
They taught you how to do all this, right?
No.
Oh no, no! This probably looks better than anything you did at AI, right?
Yes.
Are you really frustrated now? Like, does it hurt? I can only say that because I went to AI, so and I can tell you right now, none of the student projects ever look like this. So, and you, when you started, you really kind of didn't know much about Maya, right?
Right. Started from scratch.
Started from scratch about what, 2 years ago?
I think it's been 3 now.
3, yeah. But now look at your instancing, laying out cities. Oh my God.
Yep.
I'm just gonna keep doing this because it's amazing and I'll waste a lot of time. But I'm extremely happy with this. This looks fantastic. So, but you can see here, folks, the doors are facing this way. They're facing both sides. But what you did is you had to take the doors off these back sides so I don't inadvertently draw those fucking things. And that's what will happen is I'll forget during like drawing a piece and I'll be like, I put all the doors on there. No, and it's gonna look weird. So pretty awesome. So then what you did is you got that side done and then you
hmm
just duplicated it over here, right? Same exact stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
hmm
Save a lot of time. And then you got, let's just stick to this course. So then you started putting in buildings up here.
Yep.
How's this going?
So I wasn't sure on the back side how you wanted them to look.
Let's see. Zoom around. Is there any way to bring these like down and like angled? Is it way? Or
Yeah, we can do that.
you know what I mean? Like sometimes they go down
hmm
further and then angle down. So they got
Okay.
maybe they extend a little bit one floor out so there'd be a nice room or something to come. I don't know. There's a way to do that. Try
Yeah,
it.
we
Yeah.
can do that.
Yeah, try that. That'd be my only thing right there. Just to give it a little differentiate. I don't know. What's the smart word for difference? Let's just keep it simple. So I'm not an English major. All this stuff looks great. I'm happy with that. That's done. We're done there. Um, I like that there aren't oh, too many buildings right here,
hmm
but maybe this building, these buildings, maybe these are a little wider than normal.
Okay.
You know, a little bit more wider, just so they kind of feel a little bit like they kind of go up to. Well, they already do go up to that. You know what? Disregard all that. Just leave them alone. I'm
All
nitpicking.
right.
Just do that thing in the backside, and then we'll be done with
Okay.
there. And then these dock areas, I still think there should be right here. These gaps in between
Okay.
should be some buildings in between that.
Buildings. Okay.
Not here because they have to go here and go in.
Okay.
This is all, but there should be not. Don't overdo it. So it's you know what I mean. But definitely put like 1, 2, 1. You know,
Okay.
1, 2, or 3, however it works. Just enough so there's a little bit of space in between. But it needs to look like people live out there too.
Okay.
Yeah, and then along this side, facing out, but not on the inside. So see this right here? So
Yeah.
on the outside, facing
Okay.
out, but not on the inside.
Gotcha.
And not on that edge right here. That not
Okay.
not anywhere here, but it needs to be stuff along this edge here, and then just duplicate that over there.
Okay.
And then
Got it.
yeah, and then that'll be done. Then that'll be done. And we'll be done with that.
Alrighty.
What else we got?
All right. Let's go in the pumpkin. Doesn't. All right. So we have more buildings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the inside
We still got to figure out where to put all those
of the
turrets and
pumpkin.
stuff. Yeah, but I want to do that last. So
Okay.
that'll be the very last thing we do. We're gonna do the castle first, and then work those turrets around stuff after the fact.
All right.
Yeah.
And
So
then
the
we
city on the inside, really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just take a quick look around. I think we're done, but let me just. Needs to be zoomed in a little bit. There we go. City layout's complete.
All right.
All right. Now we're working on Game Cave, which to me looks absurdly huge. But let's just.
Yeah, we were having that problem.
It might have to be too. Like as much as I didn't want, I want it to be. Here's the thing. In my mind, it was like a nondescript little place in this thing, you know. But
Mm-hmm.
knowing Brad, I don't know. Like it might have to be much bigger than I initially planned. But all right, go ahead.
All right. So we did, or I did widen and lengthen
Yeah,
it.
that looks good.
So it sits at 4 stories now. Have the tower up there.
So
the sign is much smaller.
The people. Yeah, I'm gonna adjust the sign sizes, you know,
Yeah.
as we go, because I think now I'm like it looks too small, but this is. Why do I feel like it's not the right? What's wrong with me in the people size? Is the people too big? Like I think like that size of a person is probably too large. I'm thinking
Okay.
this is the normal size person.
Okay.
And these look like giants to me now. You know what I mean? Like
All
that should
right.
be normal person, and whatever this is, there should be a half version of that for the half person.
All right.
Because remember when we first made those, these right here were based off when we were doing this as a video game background.
Mm-hmm.
They have to be bigger on a map than the normal person, or you won't see them.
Okay.
But once you start talking, like when I think about scale, like if you're gonna walk into doors, what looks pretty fucking. When you go to Disneyland, like.
True.
You know what I mean? Like that's too.
It's pretty short.
Yeah. Like I almost feel like these might be even too big. So like almost. This is just my instinct, you know. I have no basis in reality here for this. Like so. Like if I just. Like what is a size door? I think it's probably closer to like that. You know?
Okay.
Yeah. This is not the kind of game store you would be able to have in real life. This is a universe where someone won making one of these things, you know. So, can you take really quickly this scale guy and duplicate it and put one on the balcony so I can see what it looks like over there? Hey, what's up, Armando? So just go ahead and duplicate that. Okay, so and put him on the floor. So
Why is
touching
he?
the floor. It's hovering, and there's no drop shadows.
It doesn't want to move.
It doesn't want to move. Why it doesn't want to move?
I don't.
I think you might have been selecting the axis. No. Yeah, that's weird.
I think we hit a snag.
Let me see. Look.
Oh, you got it.
No, there's some weird thing going on
Okay, I'll
here.
have to fix that.
So, yeah, it's doing it like in chunks. That is weird.
Yeah, I think it's going off the points in the graph.
Is it kind of? It's not. See, it's still hovering. I just want to see like, yeah. There's see. That's not for that size person. That balcony's not gonna.
Right.
Not
Okay.
gonna cut it. So that's pretty huge. Um, but that might actually work to our advantage, where we could carve out the like slits right here,
Okay.
like castle slits.
Okay.
So you don't have to do that. So don't stress over that. That would be something I would just sketch in there.
Okay.
So I think that's the proper. Put me back. I'm going crazy with this camera. Okay. Let me zoom back out. So just do me a favor this week. Take that
Mm-hmm.
size person and put them around and see what they look like in front of like
Okay.
other houses. And can you take that guy
Mm-hmm.
and put him right over here
Yeah.
really quick? Just want to see what he looks like over there. See that? Yeah, that looks more accurate to me.
Yeah, but he's still not.
Still not touching. Something's going on here. Maybe when I rescaled that cylinder, it threw off something.
Good job, Rob.
I blame me because it all works when you're doing it. So
Okay.
I think
Let's try
that
that.
scale is more accurate. Just build a figure that isn't
Okay.
that. Matter of fact, could you
Got
just
it.
build the figures as cubes? Because all those sides take a little bit more to render. So just build it as a simple cube.
Okay.
And then color the
Gotcha.
people like red and blue or something so we can see them when we're,
Okay.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That building's floating, by the way. Fix the floating buildings.
Okay.
All right? Double check
All
all
right.
your work and make sure the buildings aren't floating. Okay?
Okay.
I'm pretty certain that's the only one, right? I'm not going to go over here and find, yeah, it's probably just some weird. So what happens? No, yeah, okay, that's not. That's what,
It's the duplicating process. It kind of
yeah, it can throw some stuff off. So
weirds
just
out.
double check all that stuff.
Okay.
So the front of the building looks well enough. I like this. Can we get a version of that right here?
I had some kind of version, but then I remember we had to put a sign, so I'm not sure.
Yeah. I almost wonder if we can just put the sign right here.
Right there. Okay.
Yeah. So for now, put the sign. Well, just can you just angle the sign?
Yeah, we can angle the sign.
Just angle it right there.
Okay.
So it's like peering down at you. That I like. It's very
Okay.
intimidating. It's like motherfucker, game cave. Whoa, shit. Yeah, I like that. The size of this. Yeah, I think we'll. Yeah, I'm grabbing some weird points when I do that. I think it's probably closer to like that size.
Okay.
So I'm gonna break this stuff as you know, and then you just have to fix it. So I think something closer to that size looks right
Okay.
to me. And then you got Rad's office up there.
Yep.
That's Rad's office.
I wasn't sure how it's supposed to attach.
So these, if we go to the vertexes,
Mm-hmm.
right there, I want this to bow in a little bit.
Okay.
Like maybe a little bit. I can't do it in increments. It's like it won't let me do. It needs to not be that far, and not that. It's somewhere in between those two, right?
Got it.
So,
Okay.
Yeah, and then how it's going to attach. I thought, so you have one of those like arches on the other ones.
Yeah.
I thought it would go from this top level here and arch to it.
Okay.
So it's one of those other arches that you have that kind of come here. It doesn't, it's just shorter, and then it arches. This right here is wood.
Right.
Square, so it needs to come right here, this top floor. Come here
Okay.
and connect to. So, and if it connects into like here, fine. It just needs to be one of those arches, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay.
if you could just do that, then we're gonna call that building done for now.
Okay.
So I think that's good enough for Rob having to draw. The question I have is, what do we do about the castle? Because that game cave sits a whole lot more forward than I initially had thought. So the game cave store needs to be back here, and this area, we've talked about this, needs to be this way. And let's just scale way up. Way up. This is what directors do. They come here and just fucking ruin everything. Having worked with the couple, I can tell you that's. Now it's my turn to be the guy to just fucking everything up. And then some of these points, like here, will have to be pushed back. You know, or we can just push that a little further back, and then we can scale it way up more. And then push it a little further. Better I do this than you, because you'll be like, I'm ruining it. You know, I'm like, no, you're not. Let me ruin it. So we can come here. And then select the whole game cave. And then we can push. So maybe we take those vertexes. Is there a way to It's not a good way to do that. I'm grabbing vertices that are hidden. See, this is my AI degree paying off, right? All those years I sat in class trying to find a way out of doing shit. How to do that? This step up thing was supposed to be where like houses would sit on top of houses, like buildings,
Oh,
but it's
okay.
not enough. It's too small. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I
Yeah.
really feel like, can you detach this central piece, right? Maybe delete one of these, or make it so that it's taller, it sticks taller up, right? Like 1, 2, and so these buildings right here need to go around
Okay.
it. This needs to be like in an area where yeah, this is what I was afraid of. I'm going to eventually scale it up so big it's not going to fit the damn pumpkin. That's what I was afraid of. Select the top of that really quickly, and then just like extrude the pieces up so we can see if it goes in a straight line where it's sticking out of the pumpkin right now.
Okay.
Yeah, just way up there. Way up there, Morty. Way up there. As far as they can go. There you
Come
go.
on.
You can do it, Maya. You can do it. You made the Lord of the Rings. What happened? Like
There we go.
every time you watch the making of Lord of the Rings, you'll be like, it doesn't do that. You know, I use this shit all the fucking time. So, all right. So, select the pumpkin.
Select. There we go.
The whole thing, including the top.
Okay.
All right. And then, so now, let's see here. Let's see what happens when we just scale up and move it back. You know, maybe it doesn't have to be directly in the center. You know? Maybe being slightly off makes it look better. Because I don't want to scale the pumpkin up anymore. I think that's the perfect size. So instead, why don't we do that thing where I was like the castle will kind of like just get burrowed into the pumpkin?
Okay.
Right? So I'm fine with that. But this vertical part, there needs to be a row of these buildings going around and then building up into the castle. So the way all this works right now is not right. So I don't know.
Okay.
You need to make
So
that
it's like
work.
a spiral around type of.
Yeah, they need to go here like this, and
Mm-hmm.
then I wanted 2 rows, and then we're gonna build castle pieces coming out. So there
Okay.
needs to be like a little bit of a shopping district that comes this way, and then we're gonna like at least 1 row here with the buildings, and then we'll start the castle building here. And I will have to sketch out the castle building. That's gonna be new modeling for that, and then we're gonna use
Okay.
those. What is this for again? I will answer that in a second. And then we're gonna use a lot of those arches with the stuff from the front
Okay.
to feather out. But we need to actually, we're gonna have to make some kind of castle bit here so it reads, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought it would be a lot of those arches coming out, and we could put buildings on the side and then end with those chandeliers. So there's buildings, chandeliers, buildings. It's like a giant chandelier on the inside. And
Okay.
then so there's gonna be some minor. And what I'll try to do is send me a screen cap of all the different buildings you made, so I
Mm-hmm.
can try to find a way to reuse some of these fronts we can just shove on the
Okay.
front. But we're gonna have to model a new top for certain because it needs to be
Right.
that thing where it goes horizontally and up. This is for my graphic novel slash universe slash fucking I don't know waste of my life. Uh, this is Game Cave, so this is what I'm building. It's a comics for a series of. It's the next 10 years of my comics work, brother. Uh, I really had this idea in my head that we'd build the city out for a reason, and I don't want to do this again too much. So, building certain things are great. Building cities is it's fun, right? Don't you want to do
Yeah.
this every year, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. I enjoy it.
Yeah, you just like working on the same thing for 2 years. So,
It changes.
yeah. But I really wanted consistency with this. So, um, as it gets to the top, it will be thinner. So, yeah,
Okay.
it's too thick right there.
Okay.
So if I go to the vertices here and I just try to clamp them a little bit. I think more like that thickness,
Okay.
you know? And then we'll get a little bit more height. I got to figure out the appropriate width of that. But there's going to be bits of that castle that needs to go into this and then be sticking up through here.
Okay.
So it'll give that whole effect. Yeah, the castle's built into this pumpkin dome rock. You got all those notes?
Yes, I do.
Thanks, Bunton. Yeah, this is just Sephiroth. I appreciate it. This is just it's just a lot of work. So Jessica's helping out with the modeling because I just can't do it. I just can't. Gives me carpal tunnel just to rotate this stuff. Great. So the only thing left to do is okay. So I need to build out the interior of this shop. And I kind of want it semi-accurate. It's going to be fudging, you
Mm-hmm.
know. The interior is always fudge with the exteriors of things
Mm-hmm.
in fiction, so I'm not too worried about that. But can you make me some kind of cross section or something like in half, or you know what I mean? Something where I can kind of like plan out how I want that to work.
Okay.
Like use a 3/4 angle camera, you know,
Mm-hmm.
send me renders of like this, like I don't know, half sections this way, half sections horizontally, vertically, so I can kind of figure out what to do, you know, with that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. You don't have to model the interiors until well, you probably will have to do something. Yeah, there's gonna be some interior work,
Okay.
but I need to make sure I sketch it all out according to the model. It, that doesn't mean when you do
Right.
it, it's gonna be inside this fucking thing.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to make sure the interiors look good for the interior. It's just loosely based on the exterior, right? Like
Right.
enough to be like, because you know, I don't know if you knew, the exterior to Ghostbusters is not the interior. Did you know that? The
No.
Ghostbusters firehouse. The firehouse exterior was shot in New York. The interior is in LA.
Never really noticed that.
Yeah, I found out on my own in 1999. We got the Half-Life. Half-Life had this thing called World Builder, I think it was, Home Builder, World Builder. It was so you can make your own Half-Life levels. And my buddy and I sat down to model the Ghostbusters, thinking that'd be a great map, fighting the Ghostbusters thing with Half-Life aliens. And the minute we started laying out the exterior to the interior, I'm like, this doesn't match up at all. Like, and then a year later, the DVD came out, and they were like, yeah, well, these are two different exteriors. I'm like, no shit, you know, because it doesn't anywhere near work out. We had to actually look to the cartoon and the concept art to kind of make it like happen. Yeah. So, but I think that'll work. It can taper up, and then I'll have to figure out. So I need some renders like this, right? So I can
Okay.
start to sketch in how this is going to go, you know, and I'll just do some quick
Mm-hmm.
roughies for you. And then I need a version of it, you know, like X here, so I can kind of work that out. And like maybe like a backside, you know, a
Okay.
side. So I can kind of, I got to sketch over it this week so we can get that. So I think we need to get that done first. Well, hold on. Easy stuff first. Get all the buildings here first, right?
Okay.
Double check all your floaties.
Mm-hmm.
And then the castle work next.
Okay.
The last thing we'll do is the interior to GameCube. I want to get that castle done so we're done with exterior work. This right here is the only part, this giant open circle.
Yes. So let me show you real quick. Uh, Before, when you had laid it out, it was a giant building. Wasn't sure if you wanted to go for the same thing.
Yeah, it was going to be like a church thing right there. Oh, that's cool. You took what I did and made a little, look at that. Look at you. You could see what I did and you could be like, you mother, look at all this nonsense. So clever. Um, I don't know. I don't want, the problem with that is it takes away from the mouth and the path
Okay.
up the game cave, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
turn it off really quick. Um, can you duplicate these two buildings and move them over
Mm-hmm.
here, and then couple these, and inside here could be like a park.
Okay.
So just, you know what I mean? It just
Yeah.
duplicates right here, couple these right here, and it's like you can go in between them to get to a park, and you know,
Okay. That
and
works.
we can continue like garden the straight path here, kind of like you know, gardening stuff and little lamps and everything. So this way it's all pushing toward Game Cave.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a mistake I made the first time. But I was just trying to get something done, thinking if I just get it done, we can move on with life. But here we are, 2 years later. Yay. Um, all right. So, how long do you think it'll take to tee it up before we do? But the only thing left to do is you think 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 weeks. I think everything I just asked you to do is a 2 week. Let's push for the
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Okay. That works.
And then that third in 3 weeks. So after the second week, on the second week, you and I need to go over this again personally so you can make adjustments.
Okay.
And then on the third week, we'll do 3 weeks from now, we'll do another podcast and see the
Okay.
updates. So the only thing we'll have left to do is the castle building after that, right?
Okay.
And then the interior of Game Cave, and we will be done
Okay.
with whatever you need. So end of October for exteriors, and then a little bit of November for the interior of Game Cave. But that such is
All right.
life. We might be able to speed it up if you own whatever you do on one half of this castle should just duplicate.
Mm-hmm.
So please don't lay out the whole fucking thing. Like
Right.
I just keep stressing, and then whatever you do with the guides, just set them up from the beginning. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so they're all doing whatever you did. But I still think we're looking at mid-November before we're completely done. Either any way we look at it. But it's not a complaint. That's the way life is. So, but this all looks good to me. Anything
Cool.
else?
Let's see. I think that's it. Yeah,
All
that's
right.
it.
That's all I got. So if you could put Brandon on, I will get back to updating people on the magazine.
He's actually taking a
Nope.
nap
Taking
right
a
now.
nap. That's lazy potato. You make him walk 5 kilometers. The guy acts like
He
he's able to
wasn't
walk.
feeling good.
Oh, he wasn't feeling good. He told me he was going to be up all night
No.
working on game stuff.
He might be up a little later.
Mm.
It's not right now.
Nice. All right, don't worry about it. I'll do it alone. It's fine. Thanks, Jess.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, everybody. So now that it's just me, let's talk about what's going on with the interiors. Good news. So I got the review, final review written. If I go to my Google Drive really quickly, I can bring that up. So this final review is the product of 3 people. One, Trey McIntosh, who wrote an initial review of 900 words. Graham Cookson, who I'm working with over on Megavisions, wrote me another review at about 900 words. I took those 2 reviews, broke them up into a conversation, and then I personally had to fill in the gaps and write in all the personal character stuff and make it all work and read for fun, and which comes out to around 2,500 words. And so these color codes. Red is for Bacon, blue is for Nessa, red is for Rad, and they're all having a conversation about TMNT2. I took these words and put them into InDesign right here, and then had to create the flow. These green boxes here represent their faces. These will be like faces, typical in a JRPG dialogue tree, and then each box will be colored to whatever the character is. I'm using red, blue, and green here, and yellow because it matches my writing, but the actual layout will look a little differently. But I did that across 12 pages now, so you can see this is a whole conversation. All this white space will be the game screens. So they'll have a conversation about the game, and getting the right blend of like game review plus with some jokes. It took a little effort, but it works. And this is all laid in. And then for temp, I'm gonna put this April piece I did in there. I still got a color, but I dropped that in. And so that's linked into my Photoshop file, which is right here. So what I have to do next, this was my initial 8.5 by 11 version of this review, but now that the book is digest size, because I wanted it to be digest size since day one, and I'm going back to that, I have to take these graphics and rearrange them, you see here, across those 12 pages. So this is what it'll look like across 12 pages. There'll be this part with a cave, and then it'll eventually get to wherever the review is, there'll be gold, and like a review and a score and all that shit. But all this stuff has to be then skinned into this review. Now, it's going to take a little bit of work to get there, but what's going to be helpful is for all the reviews for each era, I'm going to be using the same exact layout. I'll probably flip a few pages here and there, but it's the same exact layout for every game. So I only have to do one layout for the 4 eras. So there's really only 4 layouts, base layouts to make, and then the 12 games will get plugged into those layouts once they're done. So progress. It's progress, folks. So that's what I spent my last few days getting done. The character art needs to be redrawn in more of a scratchy style to represent the artwork that will appear in the story. So she's drawn a little too cleanly, and that's a little too not right. So there's somewhere in between that. That's what I'm called scratchy style or whatever. It's going sketchy style, sketchcraft style. So I got to kind of refigure that out. I'm leaving these graphics alone because they look fine. I'm not going to fuck with them. But yeah, so that is what I have done. But good times, folks. It's good times. It's like for the first time in years, I've been able to see like the crack light up at the end of the tunnel, right? Like you see the little light in the darkness. How long will it take? I don't know. Like at the rate at which it's going, it's at least another 3 months before all the reviews are done and written, you know? So it could be 3 to 6 months before I'm complete. On the upside, folks, I have officially got the money together through my freelance to print and ship this product to all the backers. So, as I've said before, the money that I had raised for the Kickstarter, my business partner Josh sort of stole that money. So, I have had to. I didn't want to use my savings, but this past year, you know, I started doing game work. So all the money I made from Spyro is going to pay for this. So I did concept art on Spyro, and Spyro is basically paying for Game Cave. So that's how it works. So please buy that game when it comes out to help support the show and make my efforts worth the fucking effort that it took to get it done. Anything else? Anyone have any questions? Are we good here? Can I end this now? Once I get the game reviews done, then I'll get the very minimal part of the comic book stuff done, and all the concept art and source book art. So I'm thinking somewhere closer to 6 months. But moving past that, I should be able to do a book or 2 every year. So, but it's just like anything else, it's just getting started. So, I'm extremely happy with how everything's gone, especially this part, this whole flow. I wasn't certain how that was going to actually look or read, but even in this basic form, very happy. So, all right, everybody, if that's it, I'm going to get back to work. You all have a great Labor Day. Thanks for being very patient with the project. But as you can see, we don't quit around here. we just get on with it. All right, thanks everybody. Appreciate it. Talk to you soon. Bye. Hit the wrong button. Sketchcraft is like making some game kid. It's taking forever. Sometimes takes 4 years. And then you just kinda get started. And then you're gonna zip and you're gonna send stuff. And people are gonna be confused because they forgot they bought it on Kickstarter 4 years ago. It might have been 5 years. I stopped counting because it hurt to think about it. Probably could have made a whole game in the same round. If I only had the talent to make a video game by myself. I do have a few more surprises coming I haven't announced yet. But it's gonna be pretty cool. It's a shame that Brandon had to sleep. He agreed to be up. He's a little bit of a liar. Little bit. Happy Labor Day, everybody.